Yo, man, what up, Fight World? The fight needs to happen. I agree. Oh, fuck. Yo, what's good? What's up, man? Ward by KO. I think it's an interesting fight, him and Bellew. I gotta go pay my car. I mean, it's not due till next month, but I like to be on time and early and stuff. So I gotta pay my car note for this bank closes. So I'm gonna just kick it with y'all for a minute. Shout out to Brooklyn. Oscar, what's up? I see you. Y'all gotta let me know so I don't go too long. Cause like I said, I gotta go to this bank. I don't know what weight, because it just kind of came about today. I would assume cruiserweight, but maybe a catchweight. I don't know. I don't think Tony Bellew would really want to go below cruiserweight, though. He just fought at heavyweight. What up, y'all? Now, we got to talk about this Rigondeaux situation, man. It's crazy what some of the fans are doing. Like, if you were a boxing fan, why would you not want to see two top-class, top-shelf fighters fight in their prime? It doesn't even make sense to me. And some people are saying, "Oh, Lomachenko's too big; he'll destroy him." And they don't like Rigondeaux anyway. So you should want to see it. You should be pushing for the fight. Duck Chakal, boring as fuck. How's he a duck? See, stupid shit. Hardest working man in boxing. Thank you, man. I do a little bit. Boxing's been lit, man. I'm having fun. I'm having fun covering. This is one of my best years, like, where I just feel good. Like, not even just in boxing only, but in life, I feel good. Yeah, we already know what time it is, man. There's no other reason, unless you're trying to protect the asset from a business perspective, why fans wouldn't want to see two guys with two skill sets, two southpaws, two-time Olympic gold medalists fight each other. But the only way is if you didn't want it. Now, I understand, okay, weight was an issue, but he already said he'll come to 130. What's the deal? Where the shout out to us Mexicans? What does that even mean? I haven't gave anyone a shout out other than individuals. Here in the UK, that's what's up. Gang, man, we here, we working. I never said I'm picking Broner. If you guys ever want my fight predictions, just I'll drop a 7 reasons for some of them. And those are my official prediction joints. Yeah, okay, see, let's talk about this low blow offer, because that's a good point. Someone said they all bring up the low blow offer at a catchweight. But the thing is this. You can offer anything to somebody. Like, say I wanted somebody to run to Starbucks for me while I edit videos and do my laundry, pick up food runs, and I offer them a rate I know they're not going to accept. Now, if you accept it, you're a motherfucking fool, because I gave you something so tiny. So you must really be desperate for the money. But aside from that, everybody knows that's one of the tactics in boxing. And I really feel Lomachenko is a very tough out for anybody. He's a talented fighter. But I think HBO and Top Rank, they've gassed him up to the point where they overvalue him. Like, if you really go back and do the research, you don't just listen to my words, go look at Nicholas Walters' numbers on HBO at the time before they fought in the first negotiation, and then go look at Lomachenko's. And it wasn't this crazy difference. It wasn't like Lomachenko was doing 1.6 milli and Walters was only doing 200,000. But when it came to the split, even though Walters knocked out Donaire, he knocked out Vic Darchinyan, and even though he doesn't have the amateur pedigree, that he has an amateur pedigree, but he doesn't have the pedigree of a Lomachenko, who is a very top-notch amateur. Why is Lomachenko in 6 or 7 fights or whatever he was at that time, why does he automatically get the lion's share of the purse? And he didn't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, what has he done to guarantee that? It's not like I said, Floyd, when we talk about A-side, Floyd is the A-side, and we know why. He's the A-side because he's generating the most revenue. He's undefeated. He's been at it longer. It's very simple. But Lomachenko, in such a small time, he's done a good amount of things. But to make it like he's pound for pound #1, or to make it like he's just this immediate A-side like a Canelo even. Canelo got fucking 50+ fights, and now he's finally the A-side. But he had to fight other A-sides like Cotto and Mayweather to get that status. Now, he was the A-side against like Josecito Lopez or something, but he wasn't the A-side versus the known A-sides like Mayweather and Cotto. So why is it's ironic and funny to me that some fighters like Lomachenko, because he's talented, they just assume he's the A-side. But the numbers, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The numbers don't support that. The numbers don't support it. He wasn't killing Nicholas Walters, yet they offered him whatever they offered him to try to make it. Shout out to the North Bay, man. And if the Lomachenko Rigondeaux fight, Rigondeaux's not trying to fight for peanuts. He's like 30-something. He needs to, if he's gonna fight a I don't know, I just heard a weird noise. If he's gonna fight a top-notch fighter, why not get top-notch pay? And people get mad, but it's the same thing with Daniel Jacobs. Fighters aren't stupid. Fighters aren't dumb anymore. You know, I mean, back when Don King, only in America, when he was doing all that, and fighters were getting robbed. Even Pacquiao. See, some of y'all don't do the research. Like Kanye said, you ain't been doing the education. When Pacquiao, he wasn't with Top Rank initially. You know what I mean? He had some other people. He didn't have Michael Conks and all that. He had somebody else in charge, some managers, and they were extorting him, and like they were taking his money, and he wasn't getting what he was owed. And they were doing so. I think he sued him maybe, and then he got his money and got out of that deal or whatever. But there's been a lot of shiesty shit in boxing that has happened. Fighters aren't dumb. So I told y'all back then, and it's like we just gonna let time fly, and the truth always comes out. But I told y'all with the Daniel Jacobs, similar situation with Golovkin. I know Jacobs. He wasn't afraid of Golovkin like that. I mean, he didn't give me any indications that he was afraid of him. But he also is not trying to fight this guy who's perceived as the boogeyman for no boogeyman pay. I mean, if you tell me he's a killer and I fought Peter Quillen for 1.5 milli, why would I fight Golovkin for the 75-25 split or 600,000? He can make that fight in Sergio Mora. Same thing with Lomachenko and Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux is probably comfortable. Rock Nation put him in a position where he's fighting more frequently than he was. So if you're gonna fight this guy who's also a decorated amateur, gold medalist, and everything that they put when they introduce him on HBO, the 2-time Olympic gold medal, you know what I mean? When Michael Buffer's doing all that, why doesn't it come with that pay? You know what I mean? Why doesn't it come with that Olympic 2-time pay? Shout out to Chicago, man. I need to come out there. I heard y'all got good food, but y'all got some violence. Y'all gotta tone that down just a little bit. Loma ain't never fought no one close to Rigondeaux's skill. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why we need to fight. And I mean, you can even argue the same thing. Like Lomachenko's no donaire. But the fans, I'm sick. Like I tell you, you're gonna see more and more Ego Valley. You're gonna see me go harder and harder, because I will make sure that certain factions become obsolete in this game. Because it's all about preserving the sport. Like, if you honestly in the heart of all hearts don't like Mayweather McGregor, I'm good with that. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I have no issue that you don't like the fight. Don't watch it though. But the thing is, you got people who are snakes and fakes and leeches, and they want to talk about it, and they want to monetize their videos, and they want to keep talking about it because it's a hot topic and it's a trending topic, even though they're bashing it. And they want to make non-stop videos about it. They want to make non-stop videos talking about Mayweather McGregor. But if it's something you really detest like that, why even talk about it? Why not talk about Canelo Golovkin? Make 30 Canelo Golovkin videos. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me. Rigo could make 118 easy. I agree. He's a small dude. I just seen him a couple weeks ago. Ego Bellew out here pushing for fights and dropping facts on these cats, on these motherfuckers. Of course, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like fake shit. I don't. If you're a boxing fan and you don't like something, that's cool. But make sure you remember that and you keep your rules consistent. There ain't no certain rules for something like the Mayweather McGregor situation. Floyd beat Pacquiao ass. He beat Cotto. Yet people have a problem with it. I understand Conor's 0-0 and all this stuff as a pro, but at the same time, everybody knows there's not one person who really believes this fight won't generate interest and money, right? So you know it's going to be a big event. Everybody involved is going to get cashed out, right? And it's okay for Pacquiao to fight Jeff Horn on ESPN Friday Night Fights or whatever he's fighting this week, but Floyd beat him, and he don't have the luxury of cashing out, and he beat everybody, and he don't even get credit for it. So it doesn't make sense. Cotto can fight for a title against Kamagai. Really? A guy Robert Guerrero beat in 2014, but you don't have a problem with that. And those are title fights. Floyd fighting Conor, to my knowledge, is not being sanctioned for any major real titles. Pacquiao's fighting, my name is Jeff. And then people always try to take this to a different level, like, oh, you hate this fighter. No, I just expose and I call people out on their bullshit. You hate Mayweather McGregor, don't talk about it. Let me get all the money. I'll get all the money for it. And everybody else who has a popular channel that wants to talk about it. You know what I mean? Y'all got to start telling the truth. And fans, y'all got to start accepting the reality and pushing for what boxing really needs and what boxing is. There's so many people who they act like they're on this. I'm a regular person, man. I came in this, I'll tell you guys straight up, I came in the boxing game, and this is why it's so raw, and this is why people are mad, because I came in the game as just a legit fan. This was nothing but a hobby. But the voice, the brand, everything took off because of the fans, you guys the fans. And I got to the next level, and God willing, I kept pushing. Even when the things got hard or things slowed down, people were talking about AdSense revenue, the adpocalypse. I don't care about none of that. I was in here for a mission, and that's what it was. And that's why people get mad, because the come up was so real and it was so different. And a lot of people don't want to keep it real. They simply don't. They want to criticize and act like they're on this high horse about all the L's and everything that's wrong with boxing. Oh, Mayweather McGregor is going to ruin boxing. I told y'all before. First of all, there's not one fight that's going to do shit to boxing. Boxing has been around before Floyd Mayweather was even born, or Pacquiao, or any of these dudes. So what is one fight going to really do? Nothing. It is not going to do nothing. Either you like it or you don't want to watch it. But people don't want to keep it real. Like I said, they want to make videos and articles and try to cash out on a trending topic like Mayweather McGregor, and probably try to get credentials for it. But they're the first ones to hate on it and slander and hate everything Floyd does. Like, y'all got to fall back. Now let's talk about, like, even Lomachenko situation. Lomachenko is a great fighter. What he does, very skillful. But the thing is, Lomachenko, he does a lot that we've seen in other fighters too. You know what I mean? We've seen Mayweather with the defense. We've seen Pernell Whitaker. We've seen Terrence Crawford doing some crazy stuff. And at the end of the day, some of those fighters don't even get the credit for it. Even Canelo. Like, Canelo, he's another minority that doesn't get full credit. Everyone's talking about how Canelo's we're getting the fight now. Now, last year, most people weren't pleased. They weren't pleased with it. They weren't pleased with Canelo. I get that. But he stepped up. He's 26, and he did what y'all motherfuckers said y'all wanted. So it's a dead issue. That's all we're asking. For Lomachenko and Rigondeaux, it's a good fight. Rigondeaux said he'll do it at 130. They got like 700 Emmys between the two of them. Let's see it. Let's watch it. It's very simple, man. Very simple. See, Rigondeaux versus Gary Russell. What does that have to do? Like, why not Rigondeaux versus the guy he's actually calling out? See, that's another comment. I've been doing this so long, I could tell you the steps that the people do. They try to detract. Nobody's talking about Gary Russell Jr. He fought like one time in the last year or so. You know what I mean? He fought Patrick Hyland and he fought Oscar Escandón. So he had like 2 fights in 2 years. Rigondeaux's not calling out Gary Russell Jr. He's calling out the guy that beat Gary Russell Jr. And people trying to switch the subjects. Shout out to the Netherlands, man. I think Canelo has the Triple G fight in the bag already. I can't see Triple G winning. I don't know if he has it in the bag, but I'm favoring Canelo. And see, that's another thing. These groupie fans. If you like Golovkin, cool. If you like Canelo, cool. At the end of the day, you're not going to stop me from feeling how I feel. I always give it to you guys real. Pause. Let you know my truest thoughts. I was siding with Golovkin for majority of the time, but I just keep seeing stuff in Canelo, and I'm like, I'm not going against him, man. Like, there's certain fighters, Floyd, Canelo, Crawford. I never really went against Crawford with the people he fought, but even the situations like Crawford versus Postal or Felix Diaz, I didn't think those guys would necessarily beat him, but I thought they'd be more competitive, and he made it look like some easy work. So there's certain guys you just don't go against because they make those adjustments. Andre Ward's another one. It's hard to go against guys that keep performing consistently. You could say Canelo, I thought Lara beat him, but he didn't get destroyed by Lara. He didn't get knocked down. Like I said, I'm a real person. I thought Lara beat him by 1 or 2 rounds, but I also thought one of the scorecards was bullshit, 117, 111, and I thought Erislandy Lara, he's too economical sometimes, and he gets in that retreat mode, and he does it even more than some of the other Cuban fighters. Rigondeaux doesn't do that. Gamboa definitely didn't do it. Luis Ortiz doesn't do it. Sometimes Erislandy Lara gets too complacent, and Canelo was kicking it up with the body shots. He was trying to kick up dust, and Lara just his offense tapered down exponentially. Yo, man, on my chats, if y'all keep leaving the same message 1,000 times, you're gonna get put in timeout, because nobody's trying to see the same message. Like, switch it up or something. Like, y'all, I don't know if y'all just on computers and copy and paste. How does Lomachenko get a pass? What does that mean? How does he get a pass with what? Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Lara, but there's time, like Delvin Rodriguez is a perfect example. Lara could have destroyed him. I think he hurt him and knocked him down and all that. So at the end of the day, I think Delvin was like a dead man. You're supposed to get a dead man out of there. Like, that's where you got to give guys like Golovkin credit, because even though I don't think he had the best resume pre-Kell Brook, Danny Jacobs, he did what you were supposed to do with that level of guy. Show you that they're not fucking with him at all, and he'll at least get you out of there. I'm saying, will he get a pass if he fights Garcia? People will not give him shit for ducking Rigo. I don't get what you're saying. What the question was? Triple G Canelo undercard hasn't been announced. It's all speculation. I heard they're trying to get Daniel Jacobs, Billy Joe Saunders, David Lemieux. So I don't know. I'll let you guys know. What you think about Wilder versus Joshua? Why don't they make that fight? Honestly, I really think it's Matchroom. I think it's Eddie Hearn. They don't want to make the fight right now. They know Wilder. And see, I'm telling you, I give it to you guys so real. That's what, like, I just tell you how I really feel. You know what I mean? It's hard to look inside yourself and day in and day out and just be honest with the public when you're in the public eye. When I'm at fights, when I'm on streams, whatever. I think Joshua is a better boxer, fundamentals, that stuff, but that doesn't always win fights. I think Broner has more skill than Maidana, but Maidana thrashed him. So I think Eddie Hearn knows that Wilder is a really big threat. He has that strong right hand. He actually has power in his left. I've seen him hurt guys with the left hook, stuff like that. So that wild shit is hard to tame, and I don't think they want to wait for the right moment. I'm not saying it won't ever happen, but Wilder keeps calling him out to no avail. So, I mean, it's just like the Loma Rigondeaux situation. If you feel the motherfucker's bluffing, call his bluff. Simple. That's like somebody being in a house and saying, "Oh, you a bitch" or something. And then they run to the house, and then you're like, "Okay, we're gonna see." And then you knock on the door, and they don't come out. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really justify what you just said. How is that person a bitch if they're really about that life and they're banging on your door and you don't answer, you don't come out? So that's the thing. These guys are all in the same sports. So Lomachenko, Rigondeaux, if you don't think he's serious, send him a legit offer. If Joshua's team doesn't feel that Wilder is serious, send him a legit offer. See, y'all switching subject. Wilder got offered money to fight Dillian White. True. But Wilder has touched $1 million. See, you guys gotta understand business. Wilder has touched $1 million before. It's just like similar to Broner. See, you gotta look at it. Broner versus Pacquiao. The rumor was he got offered $3.5 million to fight Pacquiao, and Broner passed. People made it look like that's a duck. You look at the Dillian White. That's good. That $3.5 million is good money. Like, I don't think Wilder made that versus Gerald Washington. However, he has touched $1 million before. And although I don't have a problem with the Dillian White Wilder fight personally, a lot of people wouldn't give him credit. The guy White has been knocked out by Joshua, who people really want to see Wilder fight, and some people argue that Derek Chisora should have beat him. So you get the money, which is good, but you have to fight on his terms, and you're a champion. And I think they were trying to stage the fight in the UK. So, I mean, is that really worth it? $3.5 million, go over to the UK. Dillian White seems pretty tough, so if for some reason he's tough like Bermane Stiverne, you can't knock him out. Deal with UK judges and possibly lose your title in foreign territory. You know what I mean? I thought Darrell beat Carl Froch, and they weren't trying to give him that. I was talking about Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder. Like I said, I don't have a problem with the fight. If they fight, I would watch it. I would support it. I don't have no problem with it. But you got to look at it from the business sense. Dillian White's been stopped by Joshua. He has no title. And Wilder's trying to fight title holders, and they're not. Doesn't really, like Joseph Parker's talking about Hughie Fury. Klitschko is possibly fighting Joshua or Kubrat Pulev. So, you know what I mean? What is Dillian White? The money up front's cool, but he doesn't have much to offer. Like, in terms of, he's a good fighter, but he doesn't have a belt. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd rather see a fresh match like Dillian White than Bermane Stiverne, but rules are rules. The WBC, I just talked to Bermane Stiverne, and he said he got to be next. He said he's the mandatory, so, I mean, it is what it is. Shout out to Downey, California, man. California love, part 2, without gay-ass Drake. No, I'm just playing. Actually, Drake's cool. What do you think about, I did a video about Gerald Washington and Gerald Big Baby Miller. I know both of them. May the best man win. I like it. I think it's a great fight, and I think it's a meaningful fight. Gerald Washington was giving Deontay Wilder some good work. I thought he was winning majority of the rounds before he got caught and hurt. Then after that, he sparred Klitschko. Gerald Big Baby Miller did better with Fred Cassi than Chris Arreola and Hughie Fury did, and he ended up stopping him and pretty much making him quit. So they both want those big paychecks and big fights in the future. Those are the types of fights you have to get back into that challenge for a title phase. I don't know about Luis Ortiz. He's a beast, but I don't know. He got injured, and that's the last I really even heard of him. Shout out to Hayward, man. Oh, I see that 510. What I think about J. Cole, I like J. Cole. There's only a handful of people, new school people, that I even like. Drake's cool. He makes good music. Kendrick, of course, and then J. Cole. Those are probably the go-to guys from the new class. Wilder is overrated. Gerald was outboxing him easy. He will get smoked by AJ, Klitsch, and Fury. I don't believe that, and it's easy to say he's overrated when he's still stopping everybody except for Bermain. Shout out to Houston. Jacobs versus Saunders. Jacobs, I would lean towards him. I mean, he gave Golovkin work. I thought he beat Golovkin. Saunders, look, he fought that Wolverine. Hey, pup. Berserker Barra. He fought Logan in his last fight. And he didn't look good. I'm mad that the white Mike Tyson, Aventel Curtise fight got canceled. That would have been a good fight for Billy Joe Saunders. But if he fights Jacobs, I would lean towards Jacobs. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all crazy. That's a good question. Someone said, how can you say Fury when he's coming off trying to lose over 100 pounds? Guarantee you won't be the same fighter when he comes. See, that's what I'm saying. Tyson Fury, I like Tyson. I think he's good for the division, but he's banking. He said something like, I've done this 24 times, meaning gain a lot of weight and then radically drop it. But I'm telling you, as you get older, that weight sticks with you different. You know what I mean? And it could come back to haunt you. I think that's what happened in the Chavez fight. Not taking anything away from Canelo, but years of piss poor management of your weight and years of bad camp after bad camp, and he got a DUI in the Andy Lee camp. Canelo was just a skilled fighter. He was fresh because he was moving up in weight, and Chavez Jr. was just like, he looked done. Done. Fury's just huge, so he might not be the same fighter. We don't know. But I don't know. I never wish on somebody's downfall, so hopefully he can bounce back. He's good for the division. Yeah, it does take a toll on you because you fluctuate. I mean, there's no secret why guys like Floyd Mayweather, even Pacquiao, even though Pacquiao's done some drugs to his own admission, he said he was doing like shabu or some shit, heroin, I don't know what it was, but he said he was doing something. And he used to drink and gamble and cockfight, pause. So even though he's done stuff like that, I heard he's a gym rat. Like when he's training, he's real intense and stuff like that. But Floyd especially, he says he don't drink and smoke. There's a reason why he's able to last. Bernard Hopkins, there's a reason he's able to last as long as he did, because they're preserving themselves. Especially Floyd, because he has a good defense outside of the maintaining his body weight. But guys like Ricky Hatton, what happened? He got knocked out by Floyd, knocked out by Pacquiao. I mean, he had a run, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make it like Ricky Hatton's not a legend, but he would fluctuate in between his off season, get up to like 190. He's too small to be getting up that high, especially when you're actively a pro fighter. You know what I mean? And that's why you see his career end up. He got stopped by Lomachenko. You can't do that. You can't be doing. I seen a video Ricky Hatton was doing coke on camera. You can't be doing all that extra shit and fluctuating your weight, party life, overly partying. Look at Roberto Duran, another guy notorious for partying, and even Broner. All that party stuff is cool, but it can't catch up to you. You know what I mean? I was watching a special about crystal meth, and I'm not saying none of these fighters are doing crystal meth, but certain things you do when you abuse your body has irreversible effects. And this guy had crystal meth. He had been off it for like 9 years, and it fucked up his nervous system, and he would like twitch and shit like he had Tourette. You don't want to play with that stuff. And if you're a fighter and you're just bouncing up and killing weight and all that, it's too much. Too much. Yeah, that meth is fucked up. See, another thing that people don't know is like meth, there's different ways to make it, and people put all kinds of crazy ingredients in. I don't do a pound for pound list, but I don't just sit down and like, oh, number one, number two. Ward's number one. That's it. Based on his accomplishments. Get Out the movie, I liked it. I thought it was good. It was different, unique story. Ego, what do you think about Larry Merchant saying black boxers could never be superstars? Who did he say that about? He said black boxers, or he said specific black boxers? I don't even really listen to Larry Merchant. He's always been hating to me. He always, like, every time Floyd won, why? Roy Jones was Roy Jones knocked out somebody, and Larry said, I forgot what he said exactly, but it was stupid. Roy Jones knocked someone out viciously, and he was like, why did you knock him out? Or something stupid, like, what? Crawford and Ward can't be stars? Well, see, that's what they want. People like Larry Merchant, they don't want them to be stars. Because why would you say that? Why would you put, you know what I mean? Like, I never put a cap on what someone can do. You know what I mean? Why can't Crawford be a star? If he knocks Pacquiao out, he's a star in my eyes because Pacquiao's a beast. And if he's able to do that and move up or whatever weight they fight at and do that, then why can't he be a star? That's hating. Y'all gotta watch these haters. Y'all gotta watch, like, people. I hear overflow. People say stuff about me or put a tweet about me. I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? But what you guys got to do as fans is question why they're saying that about me. They don't, like, there's only a handful of people in this boxing game that really know me. Like, had conversation with me, had dialogue and stuff like that. So if you don't know me, you got to question, how does a motherfucker that don't even know you, why would they hate you, or why would they have so much to say about you? You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know shit about my life, my upbringing. I'm a private person, you know what I'm saying? So when people like Larry Merchant saying these guys can't be stars, you gotta question that. You have to analyze, where's this coming from? And I'll just leave it at that. You know what I mean? When's the last time y'all heard me and I was just talking about talking crazy about another YouTuber or something? You know what I mean? I don't care what people are doing, to be honest, because I'm enjoying life. I'm going to fights. My family's good. That's what I care about. Jim Lampley, he's another one. Like, I always try to brainwash the fans. Ward definitely pound for pound number one. All that low blow shit, that's an excuse and a cop-out. Kovalev looked gassed, and he was supposed to be training and have a triathlon. It's just, the first fight, I get it. That was a clever way. It was a close fight, you know what I mean? So you could say, oh, I did this and that, and the judges rock. Okay, cool. But we're not gonna buy that. Every time you lose, it's gonna be something. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? Pacquiao is another person that kind of does that. When Eric Morales beat him, it was oh, my clitoris gloves, and I didn't get this, and make adjustments. You know what I mean? When Mayweather beat him, oh, I think I beat him, but I had one arm. That's cop out. Even if you lost like that, you just sound like, that sounds cowardly when you can't just own up to it. You know what I mean? And Kovalev just, so that's why I don't even think Ward should even grant him a third fight based on his demeanor, because what's the point? If you beat him on points and don't stop him this time, then he'll be like, oh, it was a robbery, or the crowd was against me, or I didn't get paid enough in the second. You know what I mean? We're not doing all those excuses. Like, really? Really? Low blows? And the funny thing is, like I said, check who's saying what. Listen to what I say, look what they say. People say, oh, you're just biased for Ward. They were really low blows. If y'all know low blow, I can give you examples. And I have. Low blows drop you to you know what I'm saying? You like meet your maker. That's just what it is. Look at Brandon Rios. Look at Brandon Rios when he fought Anthony Peterson. Clearly hitting him low because he was in trouble. So Peterson bailed himself out, and Rios dropped to the canvas, and you let the ref sort it out and figure out what happened, right? Kovalev was laying on the ropes. He's falling backwards, doing all this stuff. He was clearly out of it. He got hurt to a headshot, which those same people that bring up the low blows never talk about what created the chain of events and sequence. Like, you can't be a fighter, Kovalev, falling backwards and doing all that. You can't. What ref wouldn't stop it? Even if I've seen, here's another example. Deontay Wilder versus Gerald Washington. The first whatever punch, a right hand or whatever, set things up, and Gerald Washington got knocked down and he was hurt. If you really go back and watch it, the punches that Wilder that closed the show with, he was missing some of those punches. But you've seen a defenseless Washington who, wasn't really responding, is gonna get stopped. Wilder, that's where they're saying helicopter Wilder and windmill Wilder. He wasn't landing some of those punches clean, but the ref knew the man was hurt from his actions just before that sequence. And even though he wasn't landing cleanly, you had one person with his back against the ropes who looked tired, who looked hurt, and wasn't doing nothing about it. Wasn't clinching, wasn't throwing counters, like sharp counters. It's going to get stopped. Yeah, Thurman, when he got hurt to the body, he was like, I thought he had Heelys on, you know, those little skate shoes. He was like, see ya, meet me. And he was turned into the Road Runner. You got to do what you got to do. Floyd did it versus Shane Mosley. He clinched for dear life. You got to do those things. So if it was a legit low blow, that's the only reason Kovalev was in trouble, then your head would be clear and you know how to get out of that situation. Point blank, period. Shout out to Chicago. At 130, Rigondeaux or Lomachenko, I really don't know. I think one hand I'm like, damn, Rigondeaux's skill, I don't want to bet against him. But then on the other hand, I'm like, damn, Lomachenko, that weight favors Lomachenko because he is clearly bigger than Rigondeaux. So it's a toss-up. That's why I want to see it. Yeah, Sean Porter's been gunning for that. He worked hard in the Berto fight to get that #1 spot, and he wants his crack at it. Anyway, I gotta go inside this bank and pay my car note, so I'll holler at y'all. I might do another one later, just cause. Shout out.